back after a barn burner 3-2 reverse sweep. Southern Exposure taking down Chicago Untouchables. So while sadly that means we will say goodbye to Chicago Untouchables here for the 2021 season, congratulations to Exposure as they are going to take on the winner of the current match at hand. And that's going to be your OC Stunners taking on the Texas Tyrants. Texas Tyrants were second in the American Conference, only behind the Las Vegas Ramblers, and the OC Stunners took third place in the National. So while the Stunners might have finished third, they're a team that is, I would say, misrepresented by their positioning in that. So this is really going to be a great match, and these two teams have a phenomenal matchup. Before we dive too much into that, we're going to give you a heads up on what you can expect from these two lineups. On the side of the OC Stunners, on the outside, you're going to see Corey Chavers, Joey Jarvis, no surprise there. In the setting position, we're going to see Randy Ramirez. Back row in the libero jersey, you're going to see Eisenberg, Mr. Josh Eisenberg, coming back from his season over in Tel Aviv. In the middle, it's going to be the Nick duo of Nick West and Nick Amato. A lot of experience right there, but the big curveball. Jair Santiago has spent the last 4 weeks in Puerto Rico training with the Puerto Rican national team where he will head after this season. However, Matt Hilling will be making the start on the right side today. So look to see how that kind of dynamic changes. A little bit more defensive change, a little bit less serving pressure and serving size, I would say, but still a ton of experience. Hilling playing overseas for about 4 or 5 years, well-versed. On the side of the Texas Tyrants, on the outside, to no surprise, Gianluca Grasso, the #2 point leader in the NBA, only behind Brandon Rattray. Anthony Robinson will be opposite of him. On the right side, you're going to see Tim Johnson, the high flyer. And in the middle, you're going to see Austin Lovett and Mr. Ryan Mounty. Setting is going to be Gabo Quinones as well as CJ Rilveria in the libero jersey. So they're a pretty small roster still, but they are getting it done time after time. Currently on a 7-match win streak. So a lot of expectation to see what they can get done.
Yeah, talk about playing, the right type of volleyball at the right time of the season, peaking when it matters most. It's going to be a great match to see how this unfolds.
It really is, and that 7-run win streak, the very first event when we were here out in San Bernardino, California at the Pierce Sports Center, the Tyrants started off their first event playing against the Utah Stingers and the Las Vegas Ramblers, falling to both teams. However, they then played the OC Stunners where they started that 7-match win streak, and now they cycle back 3 months later for the rematch. In that matchup, they won in a 3-1. I would say at the time everyone expected it to be a bit of an upset, but the OC Stunners, not playing their best volleyball since then, have added 2 new setters. Corey Chavers has made his return. Josh Eisenberg has made his return. So a very, very different lineup and team playing on a different level.
Different for both teams.
Yeah.
The Tyrants that first weekend, they're a much changed team as well since that first weekend. And obviously the Stunners, they went 0-3 that first weekend. They've, like you just said, have really revamped their lineup throughout the season as well.
Yeah, and this is going to be one of those classic examples of the most, I would say the best coached team in the NBA. Tyrants practicing 3 to 4 days a week. Coach Grasso has had a stint with the Brazilian national team. He understands what he wants to be done on the court, and then his son Gianluca Grasso is on the court as their captain as an extension. They're really a mean 1-2 punch and know exactly what they want to see done. Now, across the net, you have one of the most seasoned teams. Every guy on that starting lineup has played professionally overseas. So, they are no newcomer to a tough situation. And we just saw a game run deep in that last match. These teams are more than happy to extend some points, play late in the game, and they're, a lot of experience for the Stunners.
Well, yeah, these two teams, they know who they get to play if they win this match. And so, that matchup is definitely something that's on their mind. That game tomorrow will be at 3 p.m. local time. So Southern Exposure getting to watch and relax since they're playing tomorrow, the winner of this match. And, this is, like we said earlier, it's win or go home.
Yep.
So.
For anyone just tuning in, this is day 1 of the NBA Finals 2021 Championship Weekend. We have 4 quarterfinals matches today. This is the second one of the day. Lose and you're out. If you win, you're guaranteed 2 more matches because we do have a 3rd place match on Sunday before our championship. So as long as you get through today, you're guaranteed 2 more matches. In what capacity? Well, that's up to you. But that's where today is so important. You don't want to be out here in California just watching volleyball. You want to be partaking. So if you want to partake at home, make sure to be a fan of the teams, be a fan of the league. We're doing big things. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, hit that like and subscribe, and check us out at nbausa.com. We are doing our best to create quality content for you all year long. The last thing worth noting here, I think, is our predictions from last game. So we all called exposure, but we almost were all wrong, as Chicago almost had a clean sweep at 3-0. I think this is going to be one of the hardest ones to call all weekend long. I'm going to say it's going to be a 5-set, 3-2 win for the OC Stunners. What do you got?
I don't know if I can fathom another 5-set match right now, Nick. I'm going to take the Stunners in 4.
All right, there it is. If you got a guess at home, throw it in the chat. Let us know who you think and who you're out here supporting. Got it in my ear. We got Tyrants in 5 from Ira Thor on the sideline, but there it is, off to a big start. Number 17, Tim Johnson, not just getting that kill, but putting it down with authority.
Wow, what a first start. What a big swing by Tim Johnson, the opposite hitter, sneak it in inside Nick Amato's block, just right into the middle of the court for a big kill.
Now Grasso back to serve. Starts off with a float, targeting Jarvis. D-ball to Hilling. That's going to be a net violation against the Tyrants, so no pursuit after that ball is going to be relevant. We said it was a little bit of a surprise seeing Hilling out here in the last month. He's been getting a lot of reps in the gym, getting some practice in the absence of Jair Santiago. So great to see them going back to him early as an offensive option. Ramirez with a serve, a little miscommunication, and it's going to be a free ball coming over. Jarvis sets up another swing to Hilling in the back row, and Hilling early showing that he is in fact the right decision to be starting. Number 18 off to a stellar start.
Yeah, quick start by Matt Hilling. 2 kills, 1 in the back row, 1 in the front row, both from the right side of the court. So establishing that connection early on right now.
Randy with another float. Quinones goes back to Johnson, see if he can replicate another kill, but cannot. This is something that we saw a little bit more for the first time in event number 3. Tim Johnson occasionally missing that ball, swinging wide, and losing his rhythm a little bit at times. So, challenging him to keep himself activated and dialed in.
Yeah, this is a nice little service run here. It's a tough little jump float serve.
He's really putting some pace on this ball. Randy is moving this one well. Sometimes it's hard at home when you're seeing the ball to see how much movement's actually on it. There's a solid amount of pace here from number 27. Great ace to start off the match, and that's a 3-point lead, 4-1 for the OC Stunners. Right back after Real Veria. And a deep dump into the corner. Matt Hilling's IQ backing up the great swings we saw earlier. Point number 3 for number 18. And an early timeout forced here by the Tyrants.
Wow, real early timeout taken by Coach Grasso for the team in orange over there.
That's a bit of an aggressive lead here early on. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back as we just started, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Well, in a quick start to the match, the OC Stunners getting right back on top of it, seeing if they can extend their lead off the back of setter Randy Ramirez here on the service line. Real Veria is the target for a lot of these float serves as well. Eisenberg with a dig, inside from Hilling, and Hilling off the outside. The man is unstoppable.
3 for 3.
4 for 4.
4 for 4.
Yeah, he threw one into the corner right before that timeout.
Yeah.
He is on one right now.
Yep. He's making his presence known.
Ramirez with a float serve once again. Good pass, see if they can side out. Johnson high swing, dug by Ramirez. Eisenberg is going to take 2, but he's going to hit a cord. One of the smallest targets up there, but just does not find it. Before we get into this next point, though, we've got some further insight on the sidelines. Ira Thor, over to you.
Hey, guys, I spoke to Coach Grasso after that very quick timeout, and he was telling me, listen, he told his guys, calm down, 5 points. You gave them 2 of them. Get yourselves back in this match, Madeline. Back to you guys.
Good to hear. A lot of confidence in him and his players. But right now, you've got to see something change physically. You know, it's great to hear the mentality's there, but good defense. Amato's going to set it out, and that's going to be tight outside the court and find the equipment. A little bit of a unforced error there. Breath and a sigh of relief for the side of the Texas Tyrants. But a great run. Also worth noting that the Stunners looked for a certain matchup where they backed themselves up one. So Nick West was their first server. And the coach was telling me before the game that they were doing that for a blocking matchup that they were looking for very specifically.
Yeah, good thing to always be aware of.
Chavers taking that set to Hilling, but Doug, and now Tyrants in transition. Johnson high off the hands, dug by Ramirez. Bump set from Eisenberg, dug by Quinones. And now Grasso with a tip over the top. Great defense by Ramirez so far as the rally extends and then ends very promptly as Matt Hilling picks up kill number 5.
Yeah.
Right now, it basically looks like, what's the score of the Stunners? Great, that's Matt Hilling's kill count. It's pretty close.
Pretty much it's Matt against the Tyrants at this point.
A guy that after playing the first event, spent 2 events not playing much at all. Didn't even, he was not at Atlantic City, but making his presence felt here. And what better time than championship weekend? Grasso with a great receive. Mounty gets a low set, cuts it back. Hilling once again, and once again, the man can do no wrong. It's all smiles, and I think Randy Ramirez has found his guy.
What a start. I haven't seen a start like this all season by anybody. So
no, this is a one of a kind. If you're tuning in right now, don't go anywhere, because Matt Hilling has shown you how to play the game and influence it very effectively. Another huge serve from Chavers. Mounty gets another run, and for the first time after a stellar start on defense, number 27 unable to pop that one up. So many times you're critical of, you know, setters not staying home and playing defense first, but Ramirez just all over it.
Yeah, Ryan Mounty is someone that the Tyrants will need to get a huge production out of if they want to make the semifinal, win this match. But we've got a net violation there on Ramirez, setter for the Stunners.
And this is where some of those early game leads, though, can be chipped away pretty quick. You see those 1s and 2s from the side of the Tyrants, now only back by 3. And being behind by 3 feels a lot different, being in that 8-5 situation.
I totally agree, Nick.
Nick Amato, the 2-time NCAA champion out of Cal State Long Beach.
Nice side out by Nick. Likes that kind of push set. Hits the ball deep into the court. Really only needs to hit the last 2 feet of the court. Doesn't have to be straight down every time, although it looks nice. It's still effective to hit the deep part of the court as well.
Ball one taken by Grasso. Lets Robinson swing, and there's a great hard angle swing. Love to see that. Gian Grasso knows that if he can get in there and let Robinson swing, they're going to get a lot higher productivity out of him. So good understanding of their serve-receive roles there. Pass by Chavers is going to be out of system. Tight ball to Hilling, and Hilling hits that one off the antenna. That's going to be a point for, oh.
Nope, that was off the block and out of bounds.
All right, there it is. Better eyes than me. No disagreements anywhere, so I'm the one that's just awkwardly all alone on that call. So nice kill there for Hilling. Once again, kill number 7, I
don't know what game you're watching, Nick, but it's not the same one I'm watching.
I'm watching the Matt Hilling get kills game. And he's doing that very well right now.
Oh, but you got to play defense too, Matt Hilling. You can't just watch.
Yep, nice dump and good recognition there from Gabo Quinones, number 10, brother of the 2 Quinones brothers on the Dallas Tornadoes.
Well, any good setter knows when he's in the front row where the back row players are for the other team, and he knew that Matt Hilling was going to be serving and then running up to play right back. And that pass was tight enough for Gabo to take advantage of it.
Joey Jarvis with a tight hand pass, but goes up with a very aggressive swing. Cuts that one 4-4. Ramirez.
Yeah, that's a big swing by him. Haven't seen him hit that angle
no, he's
all
been,
season long.
No, he's really their control guy that helps make sure he's the glue on the team, makes sure that things are kind of moving forward, high energy, good positivity. But controlled swings, but that is a very huge swing from the Canadian. Aggressive serve. Tyrants out of system. And Grasso swinging into a triple block, punches that one through. Well-earned point from the big arm and second leading point scorer in the NBA, number 9 right there. Like the triple block from the Stunners, but.
Yeah, really nicely formed triple block. That one just kind of snuck between the blockers' chests and the net there.
Set outside from Ramirez, and Chavers goes back and says, hey, Joey, you're not alone. You're not the only one that can hit that angle. Watch me do it too.
Got some big angle hitting right now from the left side attackers in white. Joey Jarvis and Corey Chavers, the former Gaucho.
Yep. Played some Italy A1 ball. A lot of credit right now to Randy Ramirez, running a great offense, finding his guys and locating the ball well. Nick West with an uncharacteristic miss, one of the top serving middles in the league in his ace to error ratio, does a fantastic job. Grasso with a float, and that one's just out. That almost caught the line, but did not, and a quick call from our line judge. That one's going long.
13 serving 9, Stunners 4-point lead comfortably.
Ramirez once again looking to get his serving run started. Robinson with an out of system swing, and that one's gonna be swung out early. Good thing for the Tyrants, no domino effect from the serving line right there. Randy Ramirez was a huge threat to start off the match. Now down by just 3. Serve goes short. Back to Chavers. Ooh, little high beach roll down the line. Back to Johnson, and Air Johnson swings aggressive into the triple. OC Stunners right now are really blocking well and aggressively getting triple blocks up everywhere they can. But the experienced swingers on Tyrants battling it out and continuing to swing aggressively, challenging that block.
Yeah, still a nicely formed 3-man block. Corey Chavers worked hard to get over there, but Tim Johnson just attacking at a different level.
Certainly is. Something to keep an eye on here. Corey Chavers has been the target of many servers throughout the season. Right now you're seeing Joey Jarvis and Josh Eisenberg do either a 2-man serve receive with Hilling and Chavers kind of taking the sidelines a little bit more, or Matt Hilling might even step in as another outside to pass. So keep an eye on that. It'll be a little interesting thing to watch as it progresses.
Nice call, Nick. Good insight there.
Good pass by Grasso over the top. Robinson throws it deep for the recycle, and now Jarvis chops it down the line off the shoulder of Quinones.
Jarvis down the line, that's a nice swing.
Goes hard angle to hard line, looking like Molnazic out here after last match.
Showing off his range.
Back set there to Johnson, able to get that swing off. Chavers now passing well. Amato not quite finding the swing, but certainly finds the tip. Off blocker defense from the Tyrants has to pick that up.
Yeah, nice finesse shot there from Nick.
Now we got a quick timeout called at 16:12. That's actually a technical timeout. Apologies. So we'll be right back after the break. See you here.
OSIM.
And we're back after that timeout, the technical timeout, at 16-12. Right now, the OC Stunners don't look like they're stumbling at all, but conversely, to only be up by 4 for as clean as they're playing, I think that the Tyrants are, a couple adjustments here and there, and they're right back in this game. So pressure's on them to make those, though.
Yeah, down by 4. I mean, it's still within striking distance. They have to side out here.
And there's a net from Mountie, or at least someone. It might have been the setter as well. Don't know. But Coach Grasso once again refusing to let his guys be distracted by the call and would much rather play the very next point. So they're going to get right after it.
Coach Grasso's not one to invest any time in arguing with the referees. I can appreciate that.
Amato goes for the jump serve there, and they go right back to Mountie, no net this time, as the man slams it down and breaks a couple floorboards. Authority swing on that push 3 there.
And if you could hear at home, there's a few Tyrants fans in the stands now.
They
everybody know.
They travel deep.
They do travel deep.
Ooh, tough miss from Robinson's float serve there. Robinson, previously on the Ontario Matadors last season, did not see a whole lot of playing time, goes to the Tyrants and makes a name for himself pretty much overnight.
Yeah, he's had a great season for this team. It's a real solid passing outside hitter.
Good pass by Will Berea. And Grasso once again attacking the middles on OC Stunners. That's a gut check. I gotta tell you, I've played with and against these OC Stunners middles, and they're some of the best in the business. Nick West very rarely gets beat on those seam blocking moves. So for Grasso to continue attacking him speaks to his confidence as a hitter.
Bump quick set there. Oh.
Austin Lovett, just a little disciplined move. I didn't even see if he got a hold of that one at all to redirect it, but not gonna let it go without at least making a move.
Just threw it down a little bit right in front of Nick West, and Stunners need to find themselves here real quick, kind of spraying balls around the gym.
Hilling going right back into that D-ball swing, set by Lovett to the right side. Daniel Jacobs, a name we've yet to say today on that 6-2 substitution that the Tyrants rely on. Great set by Lovett going all the way out. Great kill by Jacobs, and for the first time in this match, I think Matt Hilling stopped.
Nice dig by the Tyrants on Matt Hilling, but
a little bit off the net, and you see Joey Jarvis opens up his book with a variety of options and ways to score points. We've seen him blast line, blast hard angle, and now we do the over-the-head move that looks a little bit famous from Ingapeth. Not quite the same, but pretty damn near close.
Pretty close, yeah. That's a good impersonation.
Big jump serve there. High ball's going outside. Grasso once again, but you want to see the offensive prowess of number 9. Triple block, and he is looking for a way to ignite the Tyrants offense.
Wow, what a bomb from Grasso.
Not the follow-up you want to see from that point. Unable to find the follow-up there, Jacobs. No serving sub being undone here, though, so the Tyrants looking like they're going to hold this Isaiah Afaji, Daniel Jacobs double sub for now at least. We'll see if it gets undone after this point. There's the West serve we talked about earlier, but an inside route from Grasso runs a little bit of a lob. Beats the set, and sneaky swing.
Sneaky play. You know that Grasso has that in his bag of tricks. They've run it pretty much every match, at least, several times.
Yep.
With great success. It's something that does work for them.
But it speaks to the overall IQ. You go bang a ball line, the blockers might be committing out there, and now you bring it all the way inside. Chavers with a nice pass, gets Nick Amato activated in the middle.
Yeah, the connection between Ramirez and the middle is not quite on point just yet for the Stunners. Not too sure what's going on there, but
like
still able to produce points, just not, in a great fashion.
Just kissing the net on the way by. Robinson, there it is, on a rotation that really started to be down by 2 points. They were down by 5, I think, to start the match. if Tyrants don't go down against Randy Ramirez's initial serving run here, I think the Tyrants, you know, they're going to be in a different position.
Well, the Stunners definitely won the first half of the set. Right now, the Tyrants have managed, I think, to pull ahead in the second half, even though the scoreboard shows Stunners up by 2.
I agree with you on that one across the board. Net there by Tim Johnson.
Of course, then you have the Matt Hilling factor, and
he's gonna try to score double-digit points if he can. He's currently looks like he has 8 kills on 10 attempts.
Not sure if it's the power of the man bun going on, or if he's well rested, or what's going on, but good contributions from Matt so far.
Scoring more than a third of the points so far for the Stunners, and that is something you've got to figure out. I mean, that is to the point that you are beyond an expected workload for any hitter. The Tyrants have to start.
The Tyrants have to figure out an answer for sure. It'll be interesting to see if Hilling can maintain this level of activity throughout this match.
Certainly going to be the case. We're at 22-19, a 3-point lead, and we always talk about the importance of the Tyrants trying to figure out, or the team that might be down a couple points, they've got good momentum, good energy, so it's all about resetting the mindset a little bit, chisel a point here and there, see if you can go a little 2-to-1, kind of invert the score ratio, the way it's being scored, and make a little late game run here. So pressure's on the Tyrants, but they're playing great volleyball right now.
Yeah, and also having Corey Chavers serving does not necessarily help the cause for the Tyrants unless he misses his serve.
And something we wanted to talk about, you brought it up, and we talked with our camera crew. We're going to be checking that serve out periodically. Number 6, the top server, played in the best leagues all over the world. Corey Chavers, the movement on the ball, it's pretty impressive, and something that we're going to keep that baseline cam for a couple of his serves so that we can really talk about it and take a chance to look. Joey Jarvis quietly continuing to get involved. Low error, high kill performance. That's why he's so important on this roster.
I want to give some credit to Ramirez right now, the setter for the Stunners. The passing has been a little bit tight. Ramirez has been going up nice and high and reaching for those sets and giving good hittable sets to all of his outside hitters.
Roveria goes backside there. Dug by Amato. West bump sets. Hilling's going to step close. Hammer a ball home and off the hands of Robinson. Hilling quickly tumbles backwards to not get hit because that ball was coming straight back at him.
He's not only a good volleyball player, but he's a good dodgeball player too.
Yep, dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. The 5 Ds of dodgeball. Name a better sports movie, a true underdog tale. I'll wait.
Sandlot.
Float serve from Amato. And now a tight set. Nick West, a very disciplined move, waiting to dive into that. And that's going to end set number 1 as a win for the OC Stunners and a pretty authoritative finish. We'll be right back after this, getting into set number 2. Don't go anywhere.
Flow state, the trailblazer, the closer, the do-it-all hero. All of us were born different. Some of us demand more than we were given. Some of us submerge ourselves in the wake, dive into the trenches, and fight with the ferocity of the rising storm. Some push themselves to attain more than those who came before. And those catalysts deserve and demand a form of fuel that will enable them to do so. Introducing Brain Fuel, a cerebral beverage. Be smarter, think faster, live beyond.
Hey, my name is Travis, and I'm the founder of Arste. Last year, we launched the Medic, which is a state-of-the-art percussive massager. It works by providing rapid, targeted pulses into your muscles, which relieves tension and increases blood flow. It is a great tool for athletes looking to get an edge in their training or in competition, but it's also great for everyday people who suffer from common issues such as stiff neck, lower back pain, and sore feet. What sets our device apart from others? For one, it's how insanely quiet it is. Second, is the extended length handle, which allows you to more easily reach your back. And third, the swivel head, which allows for better ergonomics. We also include 6 different head attachments and a travel case with your purchase. We are so excited to have you try the Medic. We know you're gonna love it. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram or Facebook at any time. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.
Hi, I'm Casey Adams, President of Visible Supply Chain Management. E-commerce growth has exploded since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, and that creates unique shipping challenges for e-commerce companies.
First, we have a strong team of professionals with immense supply chain knowledge. This team builds solutions and strategies to help mitigate any challenges clients are facing. Second, we have fulfillment centers across the country, which gives us the flexibility to adapt and scale rapidly to customers' changing needs. Third, our clients have access to a wide range of shipping options through our network of trusted partners. And finally, our expanded portfolio of service offerings enables us to manage customers' supply chains on a global scale.
There are many solutions and strategies that can help you overcome holiday shipping challenges, and we're here to support you every step of the way.
All right, and we are getting right back into it after a nice win there for the OC Stunners. They started the game very strong, fell off a little bit in the middle part, and then ended that one nicely on their own terms. So going to be a lot of pressure here back for the Texas Tyrants to see what they can get done. No surprise on lineups. Everything's looking the exact same, but we're going to have a quick sideline hit. Ira, over to you.
Thanks, guys. I'm with Daryl Adams, head coach for the Stunners. Absolutely dominant first set. Matt Hilling is playing at another level right now. 9 kills in 12 attempts. Not an Eric. Just talk about the production that he's had and how he's carried you guys.
Right now, we need him to, usually we have Jair in the opposite position. But because we got Gian in there, we need some speed. We need a little more blocking. And that where our passing is doing well, okay, so if he's there, he's going to put it away. We know he's a Terminator. We have a team of Terminators. So on the backside right now, they haven't seen him in a while. So they know he has the potential, but I didn't think they were ready for him to get that much production.
I'll just have to nickname you guys the OC Terminators. You're playing a Tyrant squad that came in playing as well as anybody in the league. What's your game plan to pull out this one today?
Basically, Gian is a Kobe, and we want to slow him down, get Tim down a little bit, and just play our game. We know we got a lot of Terminators. We know we got a lot of people that can kill the ball. Just do what we do. Don't worry too much about what we do. Tighten up our defense. See how he got that one through on that triple block. We can't let that happen again. But just play our game.
Appreciate it. Insights from Coach Daryl Adams. Stunners leading 1-0. Back to you guys.
Always great to hear good insight and hearing it from the man himself. It's great when you have a game plan and then you're executing on it quite well. The OC Terminators indeed. We'll see how late that travels into this one. Pressure on the Tyrants here.
Well, what I like to see from Coach Adams and what he said was that he likes to throw some wild cards out there. He's a bit of a gambler. We saw it earlier in the season when he threw out a whole new lineup, and doing it this weekend today, especially putting Hilling in place of Jair, because people hadn't seen him play in a while. Well, it paid off for him in that first set win.
It certainly did. You know what else paid off was Gianluca Grasso on the right side with a massive swing. Goes high seam, puts that one down with some authority. See if he can generate a little bit more energy once again for the Tyrants. Targeting Chavers, set to the outside, and Jarvis tips over the top, picked up by Gabo. Outside, and Robinson goes for his tip, throws that one into the corner, and he says, "That's not the tip you wanted, Joey. This is how you do it."
Touche. Anthony Robinson teaching Joey Jarvis how to tip for a kill.
Love that defensive effort as well from setter number 10, Gabo Quinones, keeping his guys alive. Grasso on Shavers once again. Tight pass. Amato tips over the top, picked up by Rilveria. And that's going to go out of bounds noticeably. Daniel Jacobs getting the start on the match. This is the first time I can recall that we've seen a match start with Jacobs paired up with Quinones. I think we've seen the flip of Isaiah Afaji and Jacobs start a match, but not this duo. So interesting look, but great start so far. Nice dig by Grasso in the deep corner. Now Robinson with a gather step, swings deep, nice reset. Quinones goes back to him once again, and there he gets the tool on the triple block. You really talk about roles, expectations on teams. Both Joey Jarvis and Robinson, as these O2s, their roles to minimize errors, optimize smart swings, they're both doing that so well, and it's great to see the parity between the two teams.
Yeah, the O2 position is on the court to pass and produce, but do it cleanly.
Certainly the case, and you want to talk about clean production right now. Number 16, Daniel Jacobs, is not rattled at all and ready to get his number said and name known. Also, look at the score. Well, I remember we were here not 22 minutes ago.
I know. How the tables have turned, Nick.
Oh, how they have indeed. And Grasso, who's been targeting Chavers, finally breaks him down, gets the ace, 6-1 lead, and a little bit of deja vu. We're going into a timeout very early on. We'll be right back. We're back. Thanks for sticking with us. Grasso going right back after. D'Amato with a pass. Now Hilling hammering it home for kill number 10.
Nice pass from Nick Amato, the middle, stepping in, passing that short ball. Nice serve by Grasso to take him out of his approach.
Yep.
But Matt Hilling cleans it up and scores the point for the Stunners.
A product of Coach Alan Knipe out of Long Beach State. Knipe is a firm believer that you don't train middles, you don't train outsides, you train volleyball players, and that leads to Nick Amato getting plays like that where he's not just a middle, but he's ready to step in, set a ball, dig a ball, pass a ball. He does it all, makes him a very lethal and offensive guy who trains in multiple positions, including outside hitter at practice quite frequently. So great guy to have on the court, a lot of energy, and definitely a leader for this team. But now we're going to see Lovett. Aggressive float taken by Jarvis. West gets activated and a little bit of an overlap there between Grasso and Lovett. Right now I like the pressure we're seeing generated from the Tyrants serve. They are certainly targeting Chavers here. That's their guy. So you're either hitting jump serves or float serves at number 6, seeing if you can break him down. Hilling with a jump taken by Grasso. Great pass means a middle run coming in, but that's going to be dug and kept alive. Free ball coming over, taken by Rilveria. Grasso on the big, dug by Chavers. Randy Ramirez tracks it down, but not able to bring that one back. Chavers taking a little run out the back of the court.
Nice dig by Chavers. Ball just isn't returnable, unfortunately, for them.
One of the best big attacks in the league, number 9. USC alumni. Grasso is I'm tripping on words. This isn't a new situation for him to be in. There's a word in my vocabulary that I can't remember right now that filled in what I was trying to say, and sometimes it happens when your mouth works faster than your brain. Short float goes to Rilveria. Robinson high off the hands, overpass. Gabo throws it back over. Easy ball from West, and now Chavers throws it deep, picked up by Jacobs. Quinones goes cross court. Robinson looks for a controlled swing, gets anything but as he launches that one long.
Just missed the block on those hands there. Right idea, but unfortunate turn of events there. Coach Grasso disappointed with that decision.
Short float from Jarvis, back to the middle of Mountie, and all aboard the Mountie train. He's starting to find some kills, get involved in the middle, and he's a guy that's picked up multiple man of the match acknowledgements here for the Tyrants, so you want to see him get involved, similar to Tim Lurich we saw last match from Southern Exposure.
Yep. Yeah, we've said Mountie's name a lot, and that train has left the station quite a few times the Tyrants play. And
Strapped alive. Grasso throws it down through West. This is going to be third contact, has to go. Hilling hammers it home, but Doug, and they're in system. Ooh, misconnection there, kept alive. Now Mountie throws it down, and that is not able to be corralled. A lot of scrappy points, a lot of big digs, but at the end of the day, the experience and the aggression there for Mountie is rewarded.
Good level, good high level volleyball being played right now. Both these teams scrapping, working hard for each other.
Hand pass from Chavers. Looks to connect with West and not able to go. Chavers tries to back West up. And right now there is a ton of pressure being generated on the side of the Tyrants. OC Stunners getting stunned a bit themselves. Coach Daryl Adams going to call a timeout and see if he can turn the stunned Stunners into the Terminators once again. We'll be right back.
Six-point lead.
Well, it was very interesting during that timeout to take a look at the way the different teams handled it. You see Coach Grasso talking to his guys all over there, and on the side of the Stunners, it was a timeout led by Matt Hilling and Nick Amato trying to get the guys fired back up, and fired back up they are. Number 6, Corey Chavers, answers with a high swing deep into the corner. Certain level of physicality that is a absolute sight to behold.
Chavers, he's about 6'8", and he can jump, and he's super athletic. It's the things that he can do on the volleyball court. It's pretty crazy, especially if you ever get a chance to watch him in person.
West with a big serve. It gets a hold of Robinson, but now Grasso's going to tip it short over top, taking the setter out. Amato with second ball, and Chavers swings over the triple block. Back set. Jacobs now cuts a D-ball choppy and does not find it. Ooh, I thought I saw a net violation there as it's moving, but nothing called. You got to play the whistle.
So Stunners find themselves down by 4. Nick West getting back to serve. He hasn't gone on a run yet. Maybe this is his start. Notice he jump serves from the left side of the court, which is a bit unique. Changing up the passing angles for...
Big jump serve from West, passed by Jacobs on the back line. Quick set to the outside, and there it is. We've seen it time and time again. The aggression from Grasso. The man gets the job done. He doesn't just score points. He lets you know that he's in the gym with authority. And there's a big swing, but Chavers not able to replicate that. But there's a net called, so that's going to be a bit of a bailout there for the Stunners.
Net violation. Nice inline camera view there as Ramirez gets ready for his jump float serve.
Robinson
pass.
Yeah, out of system here. And ooh, Cuddy picked up by Eisenberg. Back set. Hilling goes deep and too deep. That ball is long. For the first time this match, Matt Hilling not able to come up with the point. And the Tyrant train rolls on.
Gabo Quinones now with his jump float.
Ooh, gets the hands of Chavers. And during the timeout, we got a little sideline insight. There was a lot of dissatisfaction with how the team is handling the float serves. But, you know, it's one of those things. Float serves tend not to look super impressive from the sideline until you stand behind one. Right now, these balls are moving with a lot of pace. They're getting some good side-to-side movement. But most importantly, the Tyrants are finding their guys that they want to find in any given rotation. the discipline and the well-trained team of Coach Grasso right now is really on a tear and up by 6 points at 14-8, well on the way to winning the race to 16 at the first technical timeout. There's the pass he's looking for Jarvis, and Hilling hammers that one home. That's the exact response the Stunners wanted to see.
Yeah, maybe just a few points too late, unfortunately, but nice rebound by Joey Jarvis to get that pass up to the net. And for Matt Hilling to get another point.
Here's the big server of Corey Chavers. Ooh, another tough one. Someone that I've talked about as being such a great server, missing 2 in a row is uncharacteristic. But guys like him are the guys that you give the green light to. He's gonna, you know, he put 3 or 4 in early in the first set, so let him keep going after it, see if he can find a rhythm. And now Jarvis, blocked back, dug by Ramirez. He's gonna take a second swing, blocked back again. This one goes down the line, and a dig by Grasso is not able to come up with it. And once again, Matt Hilling is the answer to the Stunners' question of who is going to be the guy to score the point.
Yeah, Matt Hilling really just cleaning up everything for the Stunners. Offensively speaking, the middles for the Stunners haven't been super effective. The connection between them and Ramirez has just been a little bit off, and Jarvis has chipped in nicely, but really Matt Hilling carrying a big offensive load for his team thus far.
Certainly is, and the big thing right now that the Stunners are struggling with is their ability to get their serve-receive looking the way they want it to. Once they do that, this team's offense is certainly something that has no trouble putting the ball away, but if you can't pass, you can't hit.
Truer words have never been spoken.
Do what I can. Little out of system on the side of the Tyrants, and you see Lovett with the set. You know, we always talk about Amato's ability to be a well-rounded player. Man, Ryan Mowney and Austin Lovett are both very experienced setters when they have to take that second ball, and they do a great job of going to their pin-oriented offense. That's going to take us to a 6-point lead and our technical timeout. Texas Tyrants up 16-10. We'll be right back.
Meet Tom. Tom is the shipping manager for an e-commerce company specializing in unique, high-end home furnishings. Because these aren't your typical everyday pieces, Tom's often biting his nails every time a shipment leaves the warehouse. His discerning customers will notice every ding, dent, or scratch, which is why Tom trusts one company, RPM Expedite's dedicated network. RPM specializes in hard-to-handle freight that needs a reliable, damage-free shipping approach. RPM boasts 99.3% damage-free delivery. RPM also makes it easy for Tom to customize his shipments. With pricing options, and for transparency and peace of mind, Tom can access RPM's online portal for booking, tracing, and tracking shipments. And of course, if he ever has questions or needs assistance, Tom can always access RPM's round-the-clock customer service. Call RPM Expedite today for your customized, hard-to-handle shipping solution, or visit us online at www.rpmexpediteusa.com.
And we are back right now, a 6-point lead. The Tyrants looking like they are well in control in the match, not only on the scoreboard, but if you watch the way the game is being played, they've answered back brilliantly from a tough beat in that first set. What do you think, Matt? What's it going to take for the Stunners to get back into this one?
Well, they've got to piece together a string of points, either offensively and then from the inline. That's not going to help the cause, but I take it back. We got a touch. So they really got to score some points from the inline. They haven't been able to do that yet like they did in the first set, which is what really gave them that cushion early on.
Certainly is the case. That run from Randy Ramirez was a great asset. But now Hilling seeing if he can get a little more than his offensive load contributing from the back line. Quick set to the middle. Mowney hammers it home, but a nice dig by Eisenberg. Jarvis chomps over the top, and there's the beach experience from Hilling with a little bit of a tomahawk set cross court.
Yeah.
Finds Jarvis.
That was a lucky bounce by him. You don't often see the tomahawk magnificent set like that come across the court, but set up Jarvis nicely for the kill.
And good service pressure on the very next serve. Now Mowney is blocked, but dug by Grasso. Backside to Jacobs, and Jacobs is able to attack West. That is the third time we've seen West get a huge block touch as he's coming across to a pin, but not quite able to get over the net enough to get the terminal move.
Yeah, Nick West's hands just kind of drifting off the net a little bit. I don't know exactly what he's doing, if he's making an adjustment, but he's just slightly too far off the net to get that block.
The second he makes that adjustment, though, it's going to be an absolute problem. But there's a huge dig, and Jarvis now going back. The Tyrants scrap it up, and that one is just going out right now. CJ in white is having a stellar match, not only passing well, but finding some great digs and keeping the Tyrants rallies rolling on.
Yeah, you like to see that from the back row. Stunners attacking aggressively. The ball keeps getting dug, brought back over.
Jarvis now with a nice cutty cross court. Robinson high swing. Eisenberg once again getting an up, popped it up, but it came to Jarvis's chest real quick. Finds a second touch, but Hilling not able to send it over on the third. And now we see that double sub that we talk about so much. Faji, number 11, coming in back row, and Tim Johnson coming in front row. Coming in at sort of an interesting time. Normally it happens as your opposite rotates back row. This time they're utilizing it one rotation later. So still going to get some value out of it, but a different look for the Tyrants team to see if they can put some nails in the coffin here late in the second.
Yeah, Coach Grasso uses this strategy pretty much every set, so there's no reason not to. Keeps his players involved as well.
Tight pass from Eisenberg, but one that is more than capable of being set. Randy Ramirez thinks he's got that back dump open, not able to find it. When you're down by 6 or down by 5 in the case of that certain point, you really want to try to activate your hitters there. I think that when you get the pass, go after your guys. Don't look for that dump. Woo. He absolutely flies.
You know, you've got Chavers going against Tim Johnson, two of the highest flyers in the NBA, and Corey Chavers won that challenge, but looking forward to see Johnson's rebuttal.
Yeah, and we saw it all morning long with that untouchables and exposure match. No one was letting their guys be underrepresented. Big kill from one side. His counterpart on the other was getting his chance. So, oh, nice one-handed pass there from Grasso. And now Johnson gets his chance, but he's dug by Hilling. Amato takes second ball, and that's going to be Chavers using the outside hand of Johnson. Currently winning that one-on-one matchup is Chavers. Nice defense from Hilling. That was another key component that they were looking to solve. Jair Santiago, while an extremely offensive opposite, does not have a lot of experience getting some defense back row. So Matt Hilling stepping in there, getting a nice dig. And if you remember, there was some celebrations when he got 3 digs in one rally at event number 3. The team was going absolutely nuts for him. Little tongue-in-cheek celebration, but also something that needed to be addressed, the team felt. Afaji outside, and Grasso hammered that ball. Anytime you see a ball get hit off a block and go out the back of the court, it tells you how hard someone's hitting that ball, because it's usually, you know, you're going to see the side-to-side getting beat, but
yeah, that was Grasso's got a heavy arm, and he gets on the ball fast. And if your hands aren't in the right place, that ball finds your head, might go all the way out of bounds long. Look at that ace right there. A little trickler served into the stack.
Yep.
Joey Jarvis couldn't quite get his feet there. Corey Chavers probably should have passed it, but
that's what I was talking about earlier on in set number 1. You've got a 2-man serve receive, so they're going after the stack. They know their guy. And now Johnson once again going up against Chavers. Tight ball, and Grasso gets up, punches that one down. And the Stunners are absolutely in awe of what is going on. They've got to find a way to right the ship. A 7-point lead here in the second.
Yeah, not quite sure a 7-point lead is something that the Stunners have ever found themselves in last few events, but interesting to see how they respond.
Good block touch by Lovett. Slowing down Amato. And now once again, Chavers is getting fired up and finding a way to get involved. That's his 3rd kill in the last couple points. Certainly not afraid to go after the double block of Lovett and Johnson right there. And now a potential answer as we see Randy Ramirez, the guy who started the big run in set number 1 all by himself. See who he goes after with his float serve. He goes after the back line and doesn't find that either. Sends that one just long. And that's going to be the double sub now undone for the side of the Texas Tyrants as Gabo Quinones makes his return. And Daniel Jacobs replacing Isaiah Afaji. Gabo Quinones looks to Coach Grasso for his serving target. Doesn't quite find the serve he's looking for, and that's going to be a bick from Jarvis that hits Rilveria.
Like that ball might have been going out of bounds, but
yeah, a little bit of an inability to determine what his option was there. In case you're just tuning in, this is the second match of the day. The winner of this match will take on Southern Exposure tomorrow at 3 p.m. I'm Nick England here with Matt Prosser and Ira Thor on the sideline with the NVA, bringing you high-level swings like that from number 16, Daniel Jacobs. We're going to have 2 more matches after this. Team Freedom taking on the Utah Stingers after this, and the finishing off the night will be the Las Vegas Ramblers taking on the home court Ontario Matadors. So still plenty of great matches. Don't go anywhere. Grasso goes after Eisenberg, Hilling out of rotation as Eisenberg triples into his legs. Quinones now to the outside. Robinson with a step close, misses long. If you're the side of the Stunners, you're happy to accept that hitting error, and gonna clean up a quick little sweat streak there as Eisenberg coming across the court. And right now you see the Tyrants are really trying to challenge the Stunners serve receive, attacking seams and sidelines, making them move around a lot. So even if they hit Eisenberg as a target, if they can make him move around, it's gonna get some good yield for their service pressure, as you saw there. But now Nick Amato to serve for the Stunners. Back set to Jacobs, and that set held the middle beautifully. Nick West not even in the same zip code, and that's going to end set number 2. Daniel Jacobs, an absolute standout there. Good adjustment from Gian Grasso. To see if we have any more adjustments, we'll find out in set number 3 right after this break when we come back.
Focus. Good pass, put it down. No, come on. Closer. Good pass, put it down.
I'm training for my 6th Olympics. More than ever before, I have to work hard to stay in shape. I run, I lift, I do yoga. That means sore knees, sore back, sore everything. KT Tape helps me push past the pain.
Used by athletes around the world and at home, just like you. KT Tape relieves the pain of aching muscles and joints. Perform at your best. Easy to apply. Use it from any common injuries. KT Tape. Train longer, finish stronger.
KT Tape works for me, it'll work for you.
OSIM.
The flow state. The trailblazer. The closer. The do-it-all hero. All of us were born different. Some of us demand more than we were given. Some of us submerge ourselves in the wake, dive into the trenches, and fight with the ferocity of the rising storm. Some push themselves to attain more than those who came before. And those catalysts deserve and demand a form of fuel that will enable them to do so. Introducing Brain Fuel, a cerebral beverage. Be smarter, think faster, live beyond.
Welcome back. Ira Thor here on the sideline of the Texas Tyrants, joined by head coach Mario Grasso. Great job by you guys bouncing back here in the second set. Obviously, a set you had to win. Didn't want to fall down 2-0. What were the big adjustments that you made after the Stunners were able to pull away in that first set?
Less mistakes. Just that.
Sometimes it's as simple as that. Obviously, Hilling had a great first set, but you guys have started seeing three options right now. Obviously, Gianluca has heated up for sure, but you've seen a lot of production out of both Daniel Jacobs, who's hitting at an 88% clip right now. Anthony Robinson always performs well. What are you liking what you're seeing out of your team right now?
Sorry. No, nothing. Just keeping that consistency. Oh, touching all the balls like... Yeah, one more.
That's live. See, that's a live coaching reaction right there.
That kind of patience, not to make stupid mistakes when the ball is so bad, and fixing it and waiting for the better opportunity, that has to be the big mentality.
We'll check back with you when the match goes on. We got to put a live mic on you during the match. Back to you guys.
So there it is. We're dying over here. Coach Grasso is someone that's so animated and so
Grasso
involved with his
right
guys.
there.
Yeah, just all over it. But love to see the live sideline take, and you'll love to see the big swing. Eisenberg recovers the second one from Jarvis, and Corey Chavers ends that rally. Joey Jarvis not getting the initial pass that he wants, but that's where the experience of the OC stunner pays off.
Eisenberg with a huge pickup too, covering his player, always keeping his eye on the ball, making sure when his opportunity comes up, he keeps that ball in action, and then Chavers scoring the point for his team.
We do see one change here, that Shane Beamer is replacing Nick West in the middle for the OC Stunners. We'll see that in a couple rotations as he comes back around. And there's the huge block. Nick Amato, haven't been able to say his name enough. There's an authoritative shutdown going to the right side.
Yeah, that's not the greatest hitting line there by Daniel Jacobs, for sure, when you want to challenge the two-time national champion Nick Amato. Cross court, Nick wins that challenge.
Good float serve there. Now throws it back, Grasso with a quick swing, and that one's down the line after a lot of success. Not able to get it done. We've talked about our predictions on this matchup. It's going to be a tight one. I see a couple people talking about it in our live YouTube chat. I'm curious, after a 1-1 split and the start you see for the Stunners 3-1, what do we think is going to happen here?
Well, I'm sticking by with my initial prediction was the Stunners in 4.
And I had the Stunners in 5, but... And Ira still holding strong. Tyrants in 5, so none of us wavering, but I'm always curious, what do our fans at home think?
Comes Grasso's jump float down the line at Hilling, overpasses.
Love it, takes second ball. Robinson throws it deep, dug by Jarvis. Back set to Amato, and Amato getting involved once again, but he's going to be called for an under violation as Randy Ramirez came to the front row. Tight ball like that, sometimes going to happen. Earlier we were singing the praises of Ramirez, who has done such a diligent job of getting up on those tight passes, delivering great sets, but sometimes when it's too tight, your momentum carries you under.
Yeah, unfortunate turn of events there after a nice dig, but Grasso continues nonetheless.
Big swing, oh my goodness! Chavers steps in, hammers it in, and you love to see Daniel Jacobs stepping in for that off-blocker defense cross court, but Chavers puts too much behind that one to be handled.
Chavers was pretty quiet in set number 1. We've seen him up his level a little bit here after that set 2 loss that the Stunners took.
Back set, Jacobs looks to go down the line as well, and once again, the line has been paying dividends all match long, but 2 back-to-back errors going down the line.
Yeah, errors from Jacobs and Grasso on that right side line attack. Stunners playing disciplined defense. Now up by 2, 5 serving 3. Comes Robinson from the left, and that's dug by Eisenberg.
Jarvis is going to try to save it, but that's going to be a double called. Not able to get around that one. And right now, those are the kind of plays that, you know, the Stunners go up, and you'll see Corey Chavers do some things that are physically just beyond impressive, but they've got to be able to clean up those points as well, because Tyrants are not going to let that fly.
Well, we're at the point of the season where those small little mistakes could really hurt your cause. Nice sharp attack by Matt Hilling, but it's dug and kept alive.
Chavers takes ball number 1. Back set, Hilling, high hands, dug back row by Gabo. Set from Grasso, Jacobs swings, kept alive by Chavers. Free ball coming back from Amato, high ball to reset. Taken back row by Lovett. Robinson now swings hard angle, dug by Jarvis. Chavers gonna take a rip. High ball over the triple, gets the hands of Grasso, and that's gonna be a point for the Stunners in a critical moment, giving them a 2-point lead. OC Stunners putting on a show.
Big rally win right there for the OC Stunners for sure. Some nice digs, especially by Joey Jarvis. And Chavers terminating it out of the back row.
The aggressive angle swings and the off-blocker defense to defend it has been insane to watch so far this match. And that one's going to be tracked just wide. And honestly, if you're the Tyrants, that's a sigh of relief. Both Nick West and Nick Amato, while Nick Amato is currently not, or Nick West is not playing in this set, both of those guys hit some of the most lethal serves that anytime you get out of those rotations for free, you're happy to take it.
Sigh of relief.
Jacobs goes after Chavers with a big jump serve. Now back to Hilling, and Hilling is shut down for the first time this match on the net. Ryan Mowney joins Anthony Robinson, and that's a huge block for number 15.
Yeah, nice well-formed block, finally figuring out that Hilling riddle that the Stunners have been riding so far through this match, but nice little momentum takeover by the Tyrants.
Ooh, big serve. Passed well, and now Chavers in system with an absolute bomb coming out of the back row pipe attack. Real quick, want to take a step back. There's a question in chat saying, you know, what if you're new to the league, what are you checking in? What's going on right now? So this is our 4th event of the season. Every single team in our 10-team league has played each other one time, slotting them in over 9 matches to put them into a 1st to 5th ranking across 2 conferences, our American and our national conferences. The top 4 teams from each conference qualified for this final 8-team playoff. It is a single loss elimination. There is a bracket where 1st squares off against the 4th seed, cross seeding. And this is the 2nd match on the top side of the bracket. Winner of this will play Southern Exposure. If you lose, you go home. If you get through today, you're guaranteed at least 2 more matches, as there is a 1st and 3rd place match taking place Sunday afternoon. So we're gonna have matches coming to you live all weekend long. If you're checking this out for the first time, be sure to go check us out on Instagram, on YouTube. Hit that like, that subscribe. There will be all sorts of content coming along from myself, from all these teams, and making sure that you get to experience what professional volleyball here in the U.S. is all about as we grow from the bottom up. Don't want to miss out on the journey. And it is now an 8-7 lead for the Texas Tyrants.
Thanks for that explanation, Nick. Very informative, as Chavers comes flying out of the back row for another BIC attack.
Yeah, and you know, the BIC, for anyone not familiar, pipe is usually referenced international. Here in the U.S., we call it a BIC. It's a very fast, quick attack. It almost looks like a middle route out of the back row. And Corey Chavers and Gianluca Grasso are the 2 guys that hit it at a true BIC speed, just on top of the ball. And Corey Chavers, we've said his name once, we've said it twice, now we're saying it 6 more times. A great one-on-one block, shutting down that back one from Ryan Mowney, giving the Stunners a 1-point lead at 9-8.
Yeah, that was a great block by Chavers to be aware of where the hitter was coming at him. He got his hands over and stuffed that one down.
Good float from Jarvis, finds Rilveria. Grasso hammers that down. That's going to hit the ceiling. And like we said earlier, that is our one FIVB modified rule. Ceiling is live play. However, if it hits the ceiling on the way over, that's a dead ball. So hit the ball hard enough, and Grasso's going to get the point for the Texas Tyrants. Ryan Mowney with a nice float outside to Chavers, and just wide. No hands on that one.
Chavers picking a nice attack line there, just not quite getting the top spin on that one that he was hoping for.
Good hand pass by Jarvis outside of Chavers. Once again, the repeat set is the right set. Great kill from Chavers, going deep into zone 5, gets a huge kill.
Yeah, the repeat's always a good thing to do. Let your hitter reset himself after making that untimely hitting error.
Shane Beamer coming back from a season in Denmark where he was voted the most valuable middle blocker. Pass by Grasso goes over the top, and that's going to be a jam down. Thought I saw that go block first, but clearly hit the antenna, so refs get on top of that one. Coach Grasso, no disagreement there. Going to go the way of the OC Stunners. It's always incredible to me that you can be the MVP middle blocker in another country, play professionally overseas, come back and not be the starting middle. It speaks to the depth of the roster of the OC Stunners. Every single guy on the court right now played professionally overseas and will generally continue to do so after our season ends. Contracts are signed for most of these guys, heading right back to it. So year-round volleyball has become a way of life for many of our NVA athletes.
Yeah, it's a great thing to see, and they're all grateful and appreciative to be able to play volleyball here at home as well.
Block has been recovered by the Stunners, and Chavers goes with a tip over the top, but there's a net on the side of the Tyrants. A nice bailout, giving the Stunners a critical point for a 1-point lead.
Stunners sensing a little urgency here, creating some momentum on their side. Kind of riding the shoulders of Corey Chavers with those big attacks we talked about. Back-to-back point scoring opportunities from the left side. Ramirez now with his jump float.
Ooh, aggressive move from Nick Amato over the net, breaks his wrists, and generally if you break your wrists, that's where you're gonna get called. So I couldn't tell, that was a very close one, but gets the call all the same, and the Tyrants are gonna happily say thank you.
Yeah, hard to tell, especially without a replay. Judgment call by the up ref. He's got the best view in the house for it.
See a question in the chat says, is this the first year for the league? The league has been around since 2017. Obviously getting a league like this up off the ground takes some time. Last year with the 2020 COVID, it limited a fully planned season down to just one event that we had in November, and we're able to squeak that in while COVID was going on. But you know, the league continues to impress, upgrade, and do everything we can to make this a full viewer experience. We're running a 7-camera system right now. Got a full team of staff, 10 teams across the country, and you can always look out for more teams to be added in to upgrade the level of play across the league. Top players from USA as well as other national teams including China, Peru, Puerto Rico, Cuba, all represented in the league as well. Some big names like Jake Langlois on the Utah Stingers will be playing next. We saw Kyle D'Agostino of Team USA currently on the team play in the last match as well. So if you're thinking you're seeing some familiar names and faces, you certainly are if you're paying attention to the volleyball world.
Gianluca Grasso getting called for the over infraction as he attacked from sort of the left back area, but it was back row, and up ref called that. Stunners now with a 1-point lead. It's Nick Amato with his jump serve.
Good hand pass goes back to Mounty with a huge cutty. Finds that one, and that's what we talked about last time. It's always beautiful when you see a middle just thump a ball, but sometimes the range and ability to get on top of it is far more important, because at the end of the day, a point is a point on the scoreboard.
Yeah, nice range by Mounty to go cut back right there.
Bounce off the tape. And there's Shane Beamer taking his chance, and we see the mini game continue of not letting a hitter be outdone by their counterpart on the other side of the net. Randy Ramirez getting Shane Beamer involved.
Yeah, Beamer, as athletic as he is, he's about 6'8". You said it earlier, top blocker in Denmark last year, so making his impact now for the Stunners.
Tight pass by Robinson, jammed over by Quinones. Reset though for the Tyrants, and they go to the Bic. Dug with a one-handed punch by Eisenberg, reset once again. And it goes back to the Bic, this time dug by Hilling. Eisenberg takes second ball, bumps that to Jarvis. Jarvis with a nice chop, covers himself. Gonna be taken by Randy to Jarvis once again. High swing, and that is not able to be dug back row. And that is where Joey Jarvis shows his worth. The experienced Canadian outside scores a huge point, giving the Stunners a 2-point lead heading into our technical timeout at 16. We'll be right back after a quick message from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Casey Adams, President of Visible Supply Chain Management. E-commerce growth has exploded since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, and that creates unique shipping challenges for e-commerce companies.
First, we have a strong team of professionals with immense supply chain knowledge. This team builds solutions and strategies to help mitigate any challenges clients are facing. Second, we have fulfillment centers across the country, which gives us the flexibility to adapt and scale rapidly to customers' changing needs. Third, our clients have access to a wide range of shipping options through our network of trusted partners. And finally, our expanded portfolio of service offerings enables us to manage customers' supply chains on a global scale.
There are many solutions and strategies that can help you overcome holiday shipping challenges, and we're here to support you every step of the way.
And we are back here after that technical timeout. The OC Stunners defending a 2-point lead. Both teams really playing their game right now, so it's just a matter of who's able to minimize their errors and maximize the pressure. Matt Hilling with 2 big jump serves already, looking for another one out of the timeout. Middle set, catches Chavers high. Eisenberg chases it down. Nice little kip up there, and not able to track it down. They're gonna have to mop up a river. We're gonna have a little fishing break here.
Yeah, that was a long one.
Yeah, it was.
Eisenberg working hard. Makes for a nice slide back there.
Eisenberg getting his slip and slide action in. It is summer. He's enjoying his time before he heads back overseas.
For those of you watching at home, we're in San Bernardino, California, part of Inland Empire, so it's a little warm outside. It's probably pushing 102, I think. The air conditioning is on, albeit faintly. And our guys are working hard, so you know they're sweating quite a bit. And whenever anyone makes a dive or slides, there's going to be quite a lake,
a snail, the snail trail,
river to have to clean up after that.
I mean, Matt, we both played plenty in our fair time, but if anyone looks at us right now, we got enough sweat going on that looks like we're playing a match out here.
I'm even wearing the old polo shirt like I did back in the day when I first started playing club volleyball too. Cotton polo shirts to play volleyball.
It's a bold strategy. Robinson now with a float serve on Jarvis. Big attack from Chavers once again. And we said his name 2 times in the very first set. But while Matt Hilling came on fire to start, he has passed the torch off to Corey Chavers, the Gaucho on fire.
Chavers 3 for 3 out of that big attack. Expect to see them continuing to employ that strategy. It seems to be working pretty good for them.
Grasso with a tip over the top, dug by a backhanded up from Hilling. Now Chavers goes once again, but dug by Robinson, tight ball. Afaji throws it outside, and one-on-one is dug by Jarvis. Shane Beamer does not get the hand set. Really showcases why everyone wants their middles out of the way when they're setting. That's a tough break on a great rally, but the Tyrants are rewarded for their efforts.
Bump set, Shane. It's called a bump set. Can't get called for a double if you bump set.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Sorry, I had to take it there. Set him now. Oh.
And that one goes just long. Ball was a little bit inside, so as he came across his body, not able to get the snap he was looking for. And now the Tyrants have tied it back up, 17-17.
Well, I like that Grasso didn't block against Matt Hilling.
Set to Chavers once again and not picked up. That's in fact onto the ground. These guys are ready to go. Everyone was waking up a little bit this morning still, but we're going full speed right now as both these teams want to make sure that they don't have to sit around for the next 2 days.
They both had to sit around this morning and watch a 5-setter, so
yeah,
they have plenty of time to think about this match.
Beamer with a great float serve, gets the overpass. Amato throws it down. off of the chest or face of Lovett, but that's going to go off the back of the court almost. Goes wide and point for Amato.
Face dig that ended up just wide. Not too sure. Let's see a timeout here called by Coach Grasso and the Tyrants.
All right, well, that's going to be a timely timeout. Makes some sense. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, getting back into it. Shane Beamer coming off of a nice float serve. You can see the entire Tyrants serve receive is very shallow right now. They want to make sure they're taking this float serve with their hands and not giving it a chance to move on their platforms. Ooh, they take a step back, and Robinson handles it with his platform. Johnson rolling it in. And Chavers swinging high deep. That one goes long. I didn't see when it happened, but the double sub is in effect, so that's going to be Jacobs and Quinones replaced by Johnson and Afaji.
It's the sneaky double sub.
And that double sub is now undone. I missed when it happened the first time, but not too late to see it undone here. Gabo Quinones with a short float. Goes to the outside. Chavers once. He just goes straight over the top of the block. There was no one in the same foot of him. That was impressive to say the least, and that's what we've been seeing him do all match long as he's gotten warmed up now, ready to continue contributing offensively with leaps and bounds.
Yeah, he's really come alive the last set and a half after being relatively quiet in set number 1.
Nice serve from Ramirez. One option, that's going to be to Grasso. Continues to challenge the block. A little bit of a miscommunication on the blocking scheme that we wanted to see from the Stunners, but Grasso never one to shy away from a smart swing deep into the court. Able to score a nice point there. Now down by 1 as we head into the dog days of set number 3. Target is Eisenberg. Set selection is Chavers, and Anthony Robinson all alone gets the job done in a way that no one's been able to do all match long. Gets a solo shutdown block on Corey Chavers, number 6. Tied at 20. The race to 5 is underway. Back set, the repeat. Oh, this time Corey Chavers says, I'm going deep, I'm going line. Touch this one if you can. But untouchable, number 6.
Yeah, that was a little bit more of an in-system play for Corey. The first one might have caught him just a little low and inside, so let's see if he can do the same from the inline here.
Great pass by Grasso, and a middle run comes in, but that one is called in. It was very close. One of those defensive techniques you see if you're a back row wing digger is you want your outside foot on the line, and Randy Ramirez thought he was there, but Mountie just tags that line. And now we're going to see a substitution serving. It's going to be number 2, Zachar Pasha, coming in for Austin Lovett. 2 for 22.
Austin Lovett just absolutely unleashed on that ball, by the way. I don't think we really talked about it.
Certainly did.
31. Cannon.
Zachar Pasha, one of the few subs that he's actually the only spare body, the third middle. Getting some PT right now. Bumps at the outside. Jarvis is going to manage, but he is going to manage to not find any touch on the block as the Texas Tyrants are now at a 1-point lead, 22-21, and have forced a timeout from the OC Stunners. We're going to stay live on this one as we are getting into it. Don't want to step away for a moment at all. Matt, what do you think needs to happen on the side of the Stunners?
Well, there's still a little bit of time here. They're only down by 1. You know, they just have to make some better choices. That's not that that was an unhittable set that Joey Jarvis just hit out of bounds. It was just maybe his attack line wasn't on point Always going for the inline, but there was no blockers up. That ball's got to find the court.
It certainly does, and we've talked a little bit about the role and expectations of an 0-2. That's kind of the bread and butter ball that you're going to get, one that is not ideal by most situations, but you've got to do everything you can to better the ball and make sure that you give your guys another opportunity to score. So we'll see what the Stunners look for here and who the serving selection is for number 2, Zachar Pasha.
Big point for the Tyrants and equally big for the the Stunners as well. If they find themselves down by 2 points here at the business end of this set, it'll make things pretty difficult for themselves.
Certainly will. Ooh, short float, gets the overpass. Jacobs hammers it home, and you want to talk about rewarding a serving substitution. The middle for the middle. You'll love to see it. Number 2, Pasha off the bench comes in and gets rewarded. Daniel Jacobs, disciplined swing. Great looking shoes and a great looking swing.
I'm Coach Adams. I might be thinking about doing a serving, not a serving sub, but just a substitution to slow it down a little bit. They don't side this out.
And another great float, but battled with it is Eisenberg. A little bit of a paintbrush. Zachar tries to track it down, unable to do so. But overall, a great move from the coaching staff of Texas Tyrants. They've allowed themselves a 1-point lead even after the side out. So pressure is now on middle blocker Nick Amato from the OC Stunners. Ended his last serving run with a serve wide into zone 5. So see what he does here and who he targets. No miss serve by any means, but now it's going to be a free ball coming back. Tyrants look to reset, but take setter Randy Ramirez out. Shane Beamer with the back set to Jarvis. Jarvis sets over the top. Tyrants have to go to Mountie, and Jacobs takes a big swing off the head of Joey Jarvis. And the Tyrants rallying through to score a huge point that's going to take them to set point and here in the third, giving them a potential 2-1 lead.
Stunners are just, well, they're a little stunned right now, Nick. I think
certainly are.
They didn't expect to find themselves facing a set 3 loss, but they're just not quite all on the same page here.
Daniel Jacobs putting some pace on the ball, but battling with it is Chavers, and Chavers goes for the Bic, and there is no one home. We've seen him go 4 for 4 on that Bic. His presence is felt front row and back row all the same, but that's why they rely on the setting hands and the IQ of number 27, Randy Ramirez. He knows where his guy is. Matt Hilling with a clutch moment, and Coach Grasso not going to let him get an easy serve off without calling a timeout first.
I like this timeout by Coach Grasso, trying to ice Matt Hilling a little bit. You know, Grasso has been coaching at some very high levels throughout his coaching career.
I would say so.
Being one of them, he's got lots of tricks up his sleeve, and the good thing for him is that he's over there talking to his team about what he wants to see out of this timeout, right?
Yep. And you know, at this level of volleyball, one of the typical things you expect to see is that about a 70 to 75% side out rate from teams that are siding out well. And I think right now the passing's been pretty solid for the Tyrants, and even when it isn't, they do a good job of going to their pins, giving them a high hittable ball that they're allowed to extend rallies. They really minimize the errors, so they feel like they're still in a bit of the driver's seat here, but Matt Hilling is someone that has been putting very consistent serving pressure on with his jump serves all match long. All eyes on him. And there it is, the coach point for Mauro Grasso comes in clutch. 25-23, set number 3 goes the way of the men in orange.
Go ahead, we'll talk about it when we get back.
That's a big one right there, but we're gonna be right back. Chat, how do you think this is gonna unfold? An absolute nail biter. We will be right back after this.
Meet Tom. Tom is the shipping manager for an e-commerce company specializing in unique, high-end home furnishing. Because these aren't your typical everyday pieces, Tom's often biting his nails every time a shipment leaves the warehouse. His discerning customers will notice every ding, dent, or scratch, which is why Tom trusts one company, RPM Expedite's dedicated network. RPM specializes in hard-to-handle freight that needs a reliable, damage-free shipping approach. RPM boasts 99.3% damage-free delivery. RPM also makes it easy for Tom to customize his shipments. With pricing options, and for transparency and peace of mind, Tom can access RPM's online portal for booking, tracing, and tracking shipments. And of course, if he ever has questions or needs assistance, Tom can always access RPM's round-the-clock customer service. Call RPM Expedite today for your customized, hard-to-handle shipping solution, or visit us online at www.rpmexpediteusa.com.
Focus. Good pass, put it down. No, come on. Closer. Good pass, put it down.
I'm training for my 6th Olympics. More than ever before, I have to work hard to stay in shape. I run, I lift, I do yoga. That means sore knees, sore back, sore everything. KT Tape helps me push past the pain.
Used by athletes around the world and at home, just like you. KT Tape relieves the pain of aching muscles and joints. Perform at your best. Easy to apply. Use it for many common injuries. KT Tape. Train longer, finish stronger.
KT Tape works for me, it'll work for you.
OSIM.
Welcome back here for set number 4. Tyrants looking to sweep this the other way, win the last 3 after losing the first set. And you take a look at the stat discrepancy here in game number 4. Well, in that third set, it was all Corey Chavers production-wise for the Stunners. He had 11 kills in the set. Nothing at all out of Matt Hilling after having 12 kills through the first 2 games. Nick, Matt, any changes you'd like to see made?
Well, thanks for that inside Ira on the stats. You know, the Stunners do have a pretty deep bench, so they've got Jair Santiago, who's done a lot of good things for their squad throughout the season. He's been training down in Puerto Rico with their national team for the last few weeks. I'd like to see him on the court and see what he can do. Also, you got Nick West, who looks like he might be going back in as well in the middle. Interesting to see. Nick, what do you think?
I think that the most important thing is not a personnel change. I think it's a serve receive change. Right now, you're seeing that they're still doing that 2-man serve receive with Joey Jarvis and Eisenberg, number 4. But the problem is that the Tyrants are very actively attacking the seam between Corey Chavers and Joey Jarvis, making Joey pass a lot of the court. I think it's finding a lot of success. So while personnel's an option, I think that there needs to be a discussion about defense and even potentially bringing Matt Hilling into the serve receive if they're not confident with Corey Chavers. However, getting right back into it, OC Stunners have turned 2 quick points here in their favor.
So you're saying it's more of a strategy change than a personnel change?
Exactly. That's what I think is the answer here. I look at the ability so far from Hilling to, while he was a little bit quiet in the third, I think overall what he's contributed offensively mitigated a lot of errors, and he had an untimely missed serve there, but overall he's been, I think, contributing quite nicely. I get worried that you do some big changes as long as everything on the court, like teammate-wise, everyone's clicking and gelling. I would say you ride what you got out there and see if they can generate a win for you here in the 4th.
We'll just agree to disagree then.
Hey, that's what it's all about. We'll see what pays off here for him. Daniel Jacobs with the free ball over, taken by Hilling. Quick set to the middle once again. Nick Amato getting some work done here. You know that the Stunners talked a little bit about getting their middles back involved, but that's all off the back of serve receive. But in transition, Randy Ramirez looking for number 22 right there. So a 3-point lead, 3-0. Tyrants so far looking for a way back into this one.
Yeah, that's a timely attack there by Nick Amato. We do need to see them get more activated, as you like to say.
There it is, the little bit of the bailout. Again, you're serving aggressive, you're finding your guys. You generated a little bit of a run there to start, so missing long, always better than missing in the net. Grasso now, expect him to go after zone 1. Ooh, targets the hands of Jarvis. But another attack from Amato, tracked down beyond the net there from Robinson. Robinson resets. Ramirez goes backside, and that's set over. Punched alive, and a bump set from Grasso. Robinson's gonna tip that one as well. Ramirez, quick set to the outside to Hilling, who's blocked for a reset. Now Amato kept alive once again, no net. Tyrants stay clean. Back set to Chavers. Chavers swings wide, and a huge point for the Tyrants. What an absolute battle for that point. Every single guy on the court getting a chance to track it down. Anthony Robinson with a hustle play. You are allowed to go beyond the plane of the net so long as the ball goes outside the antenna, and you bring it back the same way.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Nick. That was a great all-around play from the Tyrants, and all celebrated as well.
Back set now, Chavers looks to go angle, but there's no way he's getting past. That's the second time Anthony Robinson gets the solo block. Corey Chavers might be as impressive as they come offensively, but Anthony Robinson getting the job done. Chavers goes for the touch and gets it. Grasso looking to maybe slow it, or I just didn't see it the same way. But the rest of the guys say, hey, no worries, we got it.
Still early on in set number 4 here. Long way to go, but momentum clearly on the Tyrant side.
There's Chavers. Nice pass by Rilveria. And a tip down over the top. Austin Lovett. The middles of the Tyrants are guys that, as you came into the season, they felt like they were the part that might be lacking. There was so much presence on the pin.
Yeah.
And every single time we've seen Lovett, we've seen Mountie, they just continue to upgrade, level up offensively, defensively, and they have just rounded off this Tyrants package so completely. But there is very, very hard things to stop Nick Amato like that. A nice push one coming from number 22. He's got 3 kills so far in the 3rd set. Very interesting to see the stunners, how every single set it feels like a different player is taking their turn. Hilling in set 1, Chavers later on in 2 and 3, and now Amato going off in the 4th here. Keep an eye on that.
Yeah, we've got Nick West back into the middle here for the stunners, replacing Shane Beamer.
Ooh, Mountie with the misconnection, keeps it live. Chavers airs it out for Hilling into the double block, punches it through. Quinones goes to Robinson, who swings, but it is blocked back into his face, and the double block of Matt Hilling and Nick West gets the job done for the stunners.
Here comes Amato now with his jump float. Pass by Grasso.
Oh, and that's out. Oh my goodness, that's one of those balls that if you can't see the line, that's as big a block as they come, but Jacobs doing a fantastic job making sure not to give an inch.
Yeah, that was a nicely forward block by Joey Jarvis, but that ball was wide. I saw it myself in the skybox here.
Yep, got the best seats in the house.
We do.
Nice pass from Chavers, battling with a huge jump serve from Jacobs. And now Jarvis swinging deep into the corner. Man, that is what makes these outsides from the stunners so lethal, is that while they have every ability to just bounce a ball straight down, they know when and how to swing deep. You can't even touch that ball in the block move from the Tyrants.
Yeah, nice high, smart attack line from Joey Jarvis.
This match is absolutely delivering, and I was so excited as I was doing all of my prep last night and last week looking at what was going to be coming up, and I was really hoping that both teams were just going to bring their A game, because I knew the way that they match up, the strengths and weaknesses of each team is an exact strength and weakness from the other. So anything you don't do well, the other team excels at punishing, and we're seeing it all happen here, but teams are trading blows. Matt Hilling missed his last serve at the end of set number 3. See what he can get done here in set number 4. He can get an overpass. That's what he can do.
That helps the cause. Hilling righting that last service error that he did have at the end of set number 3, like you mentioned.
I'm just going to use that as a little tick mark of my justification of keeping number 18 on the court. No personnel changes needed.
It always helps to keep your serve in.
Certainly does. Ooh, nice bounce off the tape there, and Grasso gets a good pass. Mounty turns that one. And a little disagreement on where that's going to go, but another kind of missed connection from Mounty. That one's not going to go for him, and Stunners are starting to open up a lead here at 9-5. We're going to see Coach Grasso call a timeout to slow his guys down. We'll be right back after a quick message from our supporting sponsors. Well, quick timeout there from the side of the Texas Tyrants. See if they can slow the game down at all. Find a little bit of a strategy to help bring them back into a set 4 where the OC Stunners are answering back wonderfully. And there's Matt Hilling once again forcing a free ball coming back, taken by West. And the set goes right back to West, who ends that quickly with a great set from Randy Ramirez, number 27.
Nice to see Nick West step in and pass that ball underhanded. Ramirez rewards Nick, gives him a set right back, and he scores the point. So.
Hilling continue with service pressure, answers back out of the timeout well, wiping up some sweat really quick. Some of these quick ricochet balls end up putting 2 to 3 guys on the ground quickly, so bear with us. I know it's,
it's warm in here, Nick.
It certainly is, and the Pierce Sports Center is going to give us a nice thank you after we have cleaned their floors thoroughly after the weekend is over. Down the line, taken by Grasso, back set to the D-ball for Jacobs. Jacobs into the tape. Tyrants are starting to cool off a little bit here, it seems, and not at the opportune time.
We've still got a long way to go, Nick, in this set. Okay, ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys, strikes and gutters if you play a little bowling here and there.
You play bowling?
That's what I just said, yeah.
I had to think about that. I'm like, I guess you just bowl. It's a verb,
just
to bowl. Yeah. We'll play bowling today. I don't know, anybody in chat, you guys play bowling? Matt Hilling with a jump serve. Cuts that one short, and there it is. We talked about the tools to handle the pace of the game. A little substitution right there. Create something so you don't have to burn your second time out on the same server. So that's a great run there from Hilling.
It was, yeah. Nice service run. Built up a 5-point lead. A little bit of breathing room.
And that's going to be another point off the touch right there, going the way of the Stunners. Now Jarvis with a float, going after CJ. Laid up in front for Tim Johnson. Eisenberg goes for the back set to the middle, but Grasso ready to take advantage of that.
That was an interesting choice of set abilities coming from Eisenberg.
The man's looking to catch someone sleeping, and if it works, didn't just miss that connection just a little low. But that's the kind of stuff Stunners likes to mess around with. And the stuff that no one likes to mess around with is the short flip serve into the net. Tough miss right there.
It's never a good time to miss a serve, Nick, but when you're down by 6, couldn't come at a worse time either.
Gotta let the boys play. West now cranks a serve down the line. Alfaji goes to Grasso, who swings high looking for the hands, but nobody home. Nick Amato not chasing any swing. No touch, and that's going to be a point for the Stunners as they are all full steam ahead right now with a 7-point lead. They've doubled the score of the Tyrants. West once again, perfect pass by Robinson. Now Tim Johnson just snaps on top of that, finds the seam. Nice side out there from the Tyrants. All starts on the back of a fantastic pass from number 1. And the 6-2 double sub is undone as Gabo Quinones replaces Tim Johnson. And Daniel Jacobs back in for Isaiah Afaji.
Tyrants still finding themselves down by 6. 2 points from our technical timeout. Gabo with his jump float. He's had some success with this.
Goes after Jarvis short. Ooh, nice dig by Robinson with no blockers up. It's going to have to be a free ball from Grasso, just barely over the tape. Quick set to the outside now. Once again, Chavers tries to tip it, but it's reset. Punched alive. Robinson free balls once again. Stunners are going to get another chance. And a huge swing from Amato.
Nicely done by the Stunners to continue to play. It was a good serve into the stack, but they worked through it. Nice dig by Robinson. Stunners continue to play on and finally score the winner.
Nick Amato is on fire right now. He's got 4 or 5 kills in this set alone. As a middle blocker, that is impressive. Only on the court through the front row rotation. Ooh, big swing blocked straight back in. Corey Chavers shutting Grasso down for one of the first times today, and that's going to be a 8-point lead. Stunners have doubled up the Tyrants heading into our technical timeout at 16-8. We'll be right back.
The flow state. The trailblazer, the closer, the do-it-all hero. All of us were born different. Some of us demand more than we were given. Some of us submerge ourselves in the wake, dive into the trenches, and fight with the ferocity of the rising storm. Some push themselves to attain more than those who came before. And those catalysts deserve and demand a form of fuel that will enable them to do so. Introducing Brain Fuel, a cerebral beverage. Be smarter, think faster, live beyond.
And we are back at it in what is appearing to be a runaway for the OC Stunners here in the 4th set. 16-8. I mean, there's still time, but quickly running out.
Would you say it's inevitable, Nick, that we're going to a 5th set?
Ask me in 3 points. If the Tyrants are able to string together, 2-3 more right now, I don't think so, but otherwise I think this is a pretty insurmountable lead. Short float, takes Jarvis, quick set, dug by Grasso. Bump set to Grasso, and he hammers that one home. Goes off the ceiling, and it's gonna be 4 contacts, not called. And a huge swing, Jacobs covers himself. Now Robinson swings down the line and gets it in. There was a huge missed call on 4 contacts. That ball bounced off of 2 players at the same time, and Ramirez hit Jarvis, taken by Eisenberg off the ceiling and free balled over, so.
Okay, so they missed it, big deal. You guys won the point. Just, it was 4 hits. Everybody saw it. You guys won the point. It's okay.
Yep, Eisenberg over there, you see him chasing his tail a bit. Sometimes that's the unfortunate job of a libero. The quickest guy, ready to quickly track that one down.
Emotions are running high, Nick.
They certainly
Which is
are.
fine. It's okay. Everything. This is a winner go home. This could be the end of your season or a ticket to the semis.
Certainly could, and worth playing for. Jarvis takes another hand pass, and Chavers swings deep, but dug by CJ in the back row. Tracked down by Grasso, and Rilveria airs it out. Chavers powers that one through the block of Lovett. The physicality on point there from number 6.
Stunners relying on Chavers right now and Nick Amato, producing the points they need to get them closer to taking this to a 5th set tiebreaker and winning this set.
Chavers is as clutch as they come. The big man hammers one cross court.
Timely ace by Corey Chavers. Cross court from area 1 all the way across the Tyrants area 1.
Unfortunate miss serve, but again, anytime you talk about the serving expectation, it's generally about a 0.5 ace to error ratio, 1 ace to every 2 errors. So Chavers gets that first ace, speaks to how well he's been hitting those serves. Acceptable miss there. Short serve to Eisenberg, quick set to middle, Amato. And Grasso playing some left back defense there, unable to stop Amato, who gets kill number 6 here in the 4th set. Truly an impressive late set resurgence from number 22.
Yeah, Nick Amato has really made his presence felt in this 4th set. Coach Adams may have had something to do with that.
Yep. Down the line, Rilveria, and it's going to go backside to Jacobs. One-on-one against Joey Jarvis, and Jacobs not to be touched. A lot of the majority of this match has kind of felt like it's just a story of how the Stunners in the point on their own terms. We're not seeing too much of the offense being established for the side of the Tyrants. That's going to be important for the second half of this, to see if they can kind of get a little momentum going and see what they can get generated. Nice serve to start it out. High ball out, and Jarvis is going to chop that, taken by Grasso. Dump, and then a touch coming out from the west is going to send that over, because Corey Chavers was already crashing, having seen the dump coming.
Yeah, and Eisenberg as well. We're both making a move to play that dump, and Nick West just kind of deflected it away from them, unfortunately.
They were almost a little too efficient there. Ooh, there's the long serve from Jacobs. Sending the ball right back over to Matt Hilling, who's had a variety of serving runs so far. Chops it short, but a good pass and another dump, but that one's going to be picked up by Hilling. Eisenberg bump sets to Jarvis, taken by Grasso, and a set to Mounty in transition, cuts that back over his shoulder to zone 1, and number 15 earning his keep in the middle.
Robinson's jump float into the stack, this time passed by West. Chavers out of the back row, he misses.
Man, he is flying. He is chest on the height of the net there, but that's still gonna be, the OC Stunners not wanting to give an inch. Got a 5-point lead still, but they're gonna call a timeout. We're gonna take a quick break, give them a chance to talk about it as a team. We'll be right back. Down still 5 points. The OC Stunners, Coach Adams there didn't want to give any run up and wanted to nip this energy train in the butt and see if he could go and shut this down and close this one out for the Stunners. Nick West, man, the Nick duo in the middle is yet to be stifled this match. when these two teams met at event number 1, Ryan Mowney got 3 solo blocks on Nick Amato. And we're seeing Nick Amato get the better of the matchup right now.
Well, this match matters more than that first weekend, that's for sure.
Certainly the case in a D-ball from Hilling. It's going to be passed by Jacobs. Quinones on a quick set to the outside. Grasso hammers that one down, but not before hitting the red and white antenna, dubbing that ball out of bounds, and a point for the Stunners. 22-15. Look, hey, ask me again. Earlier you said, is this one inevitable? Ask me, I'm ready for the question.
Is this inevitable we go 5, Nick?
Absolutely. Timeout called by Coach Grasso. A little bit of a miscommunication on what was going on there. We're not going to be cutting away on this timeout. We're going to be talking about exactly what is on the line in terms of what you can expect, because this is probably going to go 5. So I want to talk a little bit about.
Of course it is.
Probably. It's
22-15, Nick. It's going 5.
Here at the NVA, we are committed to bringing you 5-set nail biters, no matter who's playing. It's what we do. So what we're seeing. I think my biggest concern here, if you're a Tyrants fan, is through sets 1, 2, and 3. I feel like it's been very back and forth, and then maybe someone opens something up. But this is a pretty authoritative win coming in from the Stunners. And so, do you think it's going to be a nail in the coffin? Are the Tyrants able to answer back? What's your take on how they've been playing?
Well, this is how volleyball matches go. Ebbs and flows. Momentum goes from one side to the other side. Okay. Tyrants won set 3 pretty handily. Set 4 is clearly in the favor of the Stunners, which means set 5 should be neck and neck, nail biter the whole way, probably going to overtime.
Set outside of Quinones gets a repeat, but this is going to be corralled into the deep part of the court, picked up by Jacobs. And Grasso goes again, this time swinging into the triple block, covered by Eisenberg. And Randy goes to the middle, and Nick West. The middles are absolutely dominating this match, I think, or this set. I think that's what really you can be the quick takeaway is the Stunners middles are putting everyone on notice right now.
I totally agree with that statement, Nick. The middles from the Stunners, along with Corey Chavers, have made a huge impact in set number 4.
Huge swing, and that's what Grasso's been looking for on the outside. Ryan Mowney with a float, targeting Eisenberg. And there's a huge block for the 3rd time. Chavers getting shut down, that time by Lovett and Quinones.
Nice block, maybe a little too late, perhaps.
Momentum is momentum, though, and a block is a great way to do that. Ooh, a float serve out the back of the court, though. That's a tough one from Mowney. You want to see that in, let your guys play, and continue that blocking run if possible.
Set point now for the OC Stunners to force a 5th set.
West with a deep serve, just long. Holding his ear, not sure what's going on with that. It's a pretty loud ball. I don't know if he just kind of rung his own bell a little bit. Quinones now with his float, and we're at set point number 4 at 24-18. Eisenberg is the target, and Eisenberg puts them in system. A lefty swing by Chavers for the reset, and Nick Amato goes now, covers himself. Eisenberg airs it out, D-ball to Hilling. Bounced off the tape, dug by Quinones, which means it's going over the net now instead. Taken by Chavers, and another D-ball attempt high off the hands. Robinson not able to track it down in the back row, and that's OC Stunners taking set number 4, 25-18. We're gonna take a quick break as we go the distance once again here in set number 5. We'll be right back.
Hey, my name is Travis, and I'm the founder of Arste. Last year, we launched the Medic, which is a state-of-the-art percussive massager. It works by providing rapid, targeted pulses into your muscles, which relieves tension and increases blood flow. It is a great tool for athletes looking to get an edge in their training or in competition, but it's also great for everyday people who suffer from common issues such as stiff neck, lower back pain, and sore feet. What sets our device apart from others? For one, it's how insanely quiet it is. Second is the extended length handle, which allows you to more easily reach your back. And third, the swivel head. which allows for better ergonomics. We also include 6 different head attachments and a travel case with your purchase. We are so excited to have you try the Medic. We know you're gonna love it. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram or Facebook at any time. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.
Hi, I'm Casey Adams, President of Visible Supply Chain Management. E-commerce growth has exploded since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, and that creates unique shipping challenges for e-commerce companies.
First, we have a strong team of professionals with immense supply chain knowledge. This team builds solutions and strategies to help mitigate any challenges clients are facing. Second, we have fulfillment centers across the country, which gives us the flexibility to adapt and scale rapidly to customers' changing needs. Third, our clients have access to a wide range of shipping options through our network of trusted partners. And finally, our expanded portfolio of service offerings enables us to manage customers' supply chains on a global scale.
There are many solutions and strategies that can help you overcome holiday shipping challenges, and we're here to support you every step of the way.
Meet Tom. Tom is the shipping manager for an e-commerce company specializing in unique, high-end home furnishing. Because these aren't your typical everyday pieces, Tom's often biting his nails every time a shipment leaves the warehouse. His discerning customers will notice every ding, dent, or scratch, which is why Tom trusts one company, RPM Expedite's dedicated network. RPM specializes in hard-to-handle freight that needs a reliable, damage-free shipping approach. RPM boasts 99.3% damage-free delivery. RPM also makes it easy for Tom to customize his shipments. With pricing options, and for transparency and peace of mind, Tom can access RPM's online portal for booking, tracing, and tracking shipments. And of course, if he ever has questions or needs assistance, Tom can always access RPM's round-the-clock customer service. Call RPM Expedite today for your customized, hard-to-handle shipping solution, or visit us online at www.rpmexpediteusa.com.
Back here for set 5, Ira Thor on the sideline with a live take from Josh Eisenberg, starting libero for the Stunners. Hey, you guys have been in this situation before. What's the emotion on the sideline right now?
We're just going to work really hard to stick together, not let ourselves, get into a little bit of a rut, which we've been known to do a little bit. And, the energy is really high. Guys are looking really good, so we're just going to look to close out, play some mini games, and just be the better team right now.
We'll be on the court in a second. We'll see how this pans out. Back to you guys.
There it is. Leave it to Ira Thor to get a sideline interview of a guy mid-match. That's the high-quality stuff that we're all about here at the NVA. A little bit of that XFL sideline take if you've ever tuned in.
Well played, Ira. Great insights there from.
Yeah, that was one of their big things they pitched as a way to differentiate themselves from the NFL. But we're back underway. Oh. Were you really? There you go.
I love it.
All right. There's the huge huge kill right off the bat as the Tyrants get right back underway. Love it with a float. Taken by Eisenberg. Quick back set to Chavers, and Chavers swings down the line, recovered by Grasso to Robinson. And that is just going to be off balance for Lovett, not able to send it back over. It's a tough move.
Unfortunate play by Lovett. Good effort. Unfortunately, just couldn't get that ball over the net.
Getting another one of our lakes on the court cleaned up. This time it was Lake Lovett as opposed to Lake Mercado that was formed last match. But Corey Chavers, once again, the guy that we've talked about, being able to create so much serving pressure. See if he's able to do it here. Little bounce off the tape, but Grasso ready for it, and that ball gets completely mismanaged, but it does not get called. And now Robinson chops one in, dug by Eisenberg. Back set from Randy, chipped over the top, and there is nobody home. Little miscommunication on how that ball's gonna go up, but I think You know, the Tyrants got away with a bit of a lucky one not getting that called, but it didn't double per se. It just certainly didn't go the way that Quinones was intending.
Sure, yeah. I like it that the ref didn't call it. Let the players, you know, make the impacts of the play. Don't be part of it if you're a referee.
2-1 now as Chavers goes back, finds Grasso. Back set, Jacobs hammers off of the block of Jarvis, picked up by Eisenberg, and in transition, Amato, but he's dug by Grasso. Robinson sets it to the middle, and there's a flying Grasso out of the back row. Hilling now sets to the outside, and Jarvis swings high, but that one's gonna fall down in front of Grasso. A little miscommunication in terms of what Anthony Robinson was trying to do with that second ball, and Grasso could not get a swing on it.
That was a big swing by Joey Jarvis. Gives his team a 2-point lead here.
Rilveria with a good pass. A little bit of an offset, but Daniel Jacobs with a great adjustment in his approach. Steps it back, finds a deep corner, unable to be dug by Chavers. And once again, a little bit of, all right. Eisenberg cleaning up some back row effort from Chavers there. Two-three now, Daniel Jacobs. The jump serve incoming. Targets Jarvis, tight pass, goes to the pick, and there it is. Corey Chavers absolutely flying out of the back row, lands just on the midline. Impressive to say the least.
You know, as athletically and physically impressive it is to watch Corey Chavers jump and attack, he's equally like athletically can land softly too.
Yes.
Graceful.
Ooh, Jacobs, another swing, not finding that one over the tape. He's had two in recent memory, and the OC Stunners now 5-2. You've got to shut this down early if you're the Tyrants. Oh, Nick Amato lets him off the hook with the float serve that keeps on floating. And that's the Tyrants now getting a chance. They really need to score a real point here. See if they can push this into 4-5 so they don't hand back a 3-point lead right away. No 6-2 sub here. This is just going to be a straight setter substitution. Looking for a little bit of the size increase, I think, for Afaji over Quinones. Robinson with the float, backside to Hilling, and that's deep into the corner. The deep corner swings right now are really working out well for the pin hitters on the OC Stunners. Hilling's energy definitely helping bring this team home here in the fifth set, sorry.
You know, Hilling had one blocker in front of him, and you got to give credit to Nick West for holding Mountie in place, because Nick West and Nick Amato had such a strong set number 4.
Deep jump takes Robinson. Now Grasso gathers step, dug by Hilling. Set the outside, and Jarvis now swinging off the hands of Mountie. 7-3. Reminder, because this is such a short game, there is no technical timeout here, so it is all on the coaches to manage how they want to use their 2 timeouts. I would say Grasso will probably use one here, but he's going to hold it.
He's going to let it ride.
It's a gamble.
1 point away from the side switch, so I'm okay with it.
Cut cross, tight pass, Robinson tries to be saved by Afaji. But now we're on the side set switch, 8-3. The pressure feels a little insurmountable right now. Because, you know, the Tyrants, you know, not only are they down by 5, we always talk about the difference between what the scoreboard says and what the energy on the court says. And right now the Tyrants don't feel like they're able to develop their system and even get to play the game.
Well, the Stunners definitely jumped out, you know, early and often in this set right now to have a 5-point lead to switch 8-3. They're definitely in charge, but I wouldn't say it's insurmountable, okay? He's gonna call his timeout, get a little extended break, let his team catch their breath, get a drink, develop a game plan, it really just comes down to them passing right now. They need to pass, and they need to be able to set quick. They haven't done that for a while. And if they could get the ball over to Mountie for a quick kill, followed up by a real point or two, they're right back in it.
Yeah, it's one of the interesting things about watching how offenses unfold. So when you have a pin hitter that's really hitting hot, you want to keep feeding them. Unfortunately, what that also does is at the same time is if you don't include your middles, slowly the middle blockers on the other side start to commit out, and that's going to start to slow your hot guy down. So it's that really delicate balance of feeding your hot guy, but also keeping other hitters involved so that A, they don't cool down, but B, the blockers that you're against have to continue respecting other options.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you, Nick.
Hilling now seems like he's been the one at the helm for a variety of these set 4 and set 5 service runs. Finds libero Roveria, and Randy goes up and throws that ball down, but throws the net down too.
That was going to be quite a throwdown. Unfortunately, Randy just got a little overzealous and slightly touched the net on that one.
Just a bit. Mountie now missed his last float long, finds this one in the hands of Jarvis. Inside D-ball, block touch from Grasso. Free balls. Oh, my bad, I was one touch count off, and there it is. Miscommunication on who's where, but the crafty swing from the outside of the Tyrants scores what feels like a bit of a freebie.
Yeah, that was a weird one. Fortunately, the lead was big enough that there's still a 3-point cushion here, but Stunners have to side out now.
Good block touch from Lovett in the middle, and then Grasso, ooh, it's kept alive. Robinson sends that one over. Back to the outside, and Jarvis swings, and that's going to be blocked down into it. While there might be some moves from the Tyrants that don't quite get the initial contact they want, you certainly can't say that their effort level is anything but impressive. Able to extend that rally and give themselves another chance.
Well, things are starting to get serious now. Only 2 points.
Only 2 points indeed. Mountie with another float on Jarvis's hands. Tight pass. Randy dumps that one over. This one's reset now. Tyrants have a freebie to take a big swing. Triple block, and Grasso is not stoppable. The man on fire, number 9 in orange. Through a triple block. If you want a more clutch moment, I'll wait, because Grasso getting the job done.
Wow, what is happening, Nick? He just swing freely through the 3-man block. That was huge. The Tyrants fan base are going nuts over in the stands.
Wow.
Team is on fire. Now, they were down by 5 no less than 4 minutes ago. Now only down by 1.
I'm gonna pull my foot out of my mouth there after saying, hey, I think that we're not seeing the Tyrants running their system. Well, there it is. Give themselves a chance to play some blocking defense, come out, battle it back, and see the point through, because they will find their points in the long rally. And that was my big thing when I was trying to pick how this match was going to go. The longer the rally goes, the more I favor the Tyrants.
Well, I think that credits to Coach Grasso, establishing that mindset, making sure his players play the full point, not relying on the referee to interfere or anything like that.
And the pick from Chavers is dug by Robinson. A set up for Jacobs. He takes the setter out. Ramirez now. Jarvis with a high swing. Grasso's going to take that first ball. Afaji goes to Grasso. Grasso with a hard swing, but finds the top of the tape. And on a very important swing, the OC Stunners catch a lucky break, or in this case, a lucky bounce off the top of the tape. 2-point lead.
Couldn't say it better myself, Nick. Get that lead back to 2. A little breathing room, but still tense moments here.
Tyrants in system. Quick set to the outside. Blocked and covered. West takes ball 1, but it's tight, and it pulls the block. No discipline on the block there for the Tyrants. The front row setter pulls the only blocker, and Grasso, love it, looked like he got isolated a little bit and feed the big man in the middle, Nick West.
Ooh, second timeout being called by Coach Grasso. There's still a little bit of game to be played here. It'll be interesting to see how that factors into this barn burner.
Certainly will, and you just saw a 3-point run from the side of the Tyrants, and just like that, the Stunners flip it back on its head. They go on their 2-point run, taking their lead back to 3, and they are determined not to let the Tyrants have this one easy.
Man, high intensity right now. Winner moves on to tomorrow and a chance at the semis while the loser packs their bags. They get to head home, either Orange County or Texas.
Luckily, one is a lot closer than the other for one of these teams, but well, if you're a Tyrants fan right now, start cheering for your boys. They need your energy. Down by 3, we see Quinones make his return, replacing Afaji. Joey Jarvis float serve. Taken by Robinson's hands, quick set to the outside, and Grasso attacking the double block there once again. That's the swing he was looking for on the last attempt. This time, having far more success. A 2-point lead opening up, but you can hear Nick Amato on the bench very vocally making sure that his guys are taking a breather. And now we're gonna see a blocking substitution, a sub we have never seen, bringing middle blocker Zakar Pasha in to replace Daniel Jacobs' front row. So they're gonna see if they can hold on to this, which tells me that their hitting option is Grasso on every ball. High ball there from Jarvis. That's gonna go outside to Chavers. Triple block, gets the block touch, taken by Rilveria. Set goes to Grasso on the outside, and there it is, just like clockwork. They had a game plan, and they execute a triple block to slow down Corey Chavers.
The key to that
in transition.
The key right there is the speed of that transition swing. Gabo and Gian are on the same page. A fast set like that doesn't let the Stunners block develop and scores the point.
Now Gabo goes for another float, see if he can hit his target. Targets Jarvis, out of system, high bump set, triple block coming in. Jarvis swings deep, gets a touch call from the side over here. Looks like a great call to me, and there's gonna be a 2-point lead reestablished, but we are not done yet. Zakar Pasha now sub back out for Daniel Jacobs, an effective blocking sub and a great coach. Great call by Coach Grasso over there. Nick West has had a lot of pressuring serves so far. Also missed a couple, so this is a really important one for him to hit in. And there it is. He's been a coin flip thus far, but he's a guy that you want to go after it, but that is a tough moment now, letting the Tyrants back in, putting Gian Grasso on the back line. Expect to see big routes coming in quite regularly with him. He is their go-to hitter option. Float attacks Jarvis, set outside. Chavers, OT on the double block. He is hitting that ball at the height of the antenna.
Yeah, that's not stoppable.
No.
There's no way the Tyrants can stop that ball on the block. They can only hope to dig it in the back row, but my goodness, Corey Chavers just going OT.
Float serve from Randy, the guy that started off the match, and there it is. At a better moment, oh wait, finds the ace into zone 5 and gets Rilveria in the corner.
Wow.
Or Robinson, no it is, he beat Rilveria who was tracking that one down. Oh man.
Big serve right there, this one as well.
3-point lead. This point is a huge one for the Stunners. Tyrants in system, backside to Jacobs, and he is housed straight down. Corey Chavers, number 6, is the answer to any question that is asking about how the Stunners are gonna win this match. 14-10 here in the 5th. The OC Stunners looking to take this one home and play the Southern Exposure tomorrow at 3 p.m. 1 point separates them from them in the semifinals. Out of system, Robinson has to manage. Swings in, dug by Eisenberg. Here's the chance. Chavers chips over the top, and there's going to be a net. The Texas Tyrants fall in 5 to the OC Stunners.
What a nearly perfect 5th set being played by the OC Stunners. Wow, what a match. What a turnaround. Unbelievable action, Nick. OC Stunners moving on to the semifinals tomorrow, playing the Southern Exposure at 3 p.m. local time. What a match, Nick.
That is certainly a nail biter. Wow, and we're here at 3 o'clock, another 5 set. that just goes the distance. After this, we're going to see at 4 o'clock in just under an hour's time, the Utah Stingers battling against Team Freedom. That's going to be a very close match. Last time they squared off was event number 2 in Atlantic City as Team Freedom took Stingers down in 5. That was a 1-2 weekend for the Stingers where they fell to Freedom and the Ramblers. So as far as I know, Stingers have their full lineup here, which is something they haven't been able to say for a while, and that certainly makes them someone to be feared.
Let's finish up on this match real fast. You're totally right. The next match is going to be equally as good, but I'm a little disappointed to see the Tyrants going home. They played great volleyball, especially the last 8 matches. They're 7-1 in their last 8 matches. Unfortunately, this being their 1 loss, and that means that they got to go home. They should be very proud about how they played.
Yeah, they certainly should, and it's a tough one, but considering this is their, formerly in the 2020 season, they were a new team as the Tennessee Tyrants, transferring new ownership, new everything, and going over to, becoming the Texas Tyrants. I think they are one of those teams that has set a new precedent for exactly what it means to take volleyball here in the U.S. to the next level. Phenomenal coaching. They've got guys that are dedicated, multiple states, not just Texas, guys that are practicing 4 times a week. They are all in. They are bought in. And as we continue to grow these teams all over the country, that's going to be one of the most important things. You have to minimize the amount of players that get brought in elsewhere because you have to develop that camaraderie, that sense of team, on the court. And so the more, it's hard to do because, you've got to find local talent. And so it's really one of those things that Tyrants are one of the best teams to challenge that status. So, big props to them. It's a bummer to see them go home. A well-earned win from the OC Stunners. And now for the sideline for the player of the match. Over to you, Ira.
Thanks, fellas. And I'm joined by who else? Corey Chavers. This is absolutely sensational stat line. You had 25 kills in this match. You had 18 of those in the final 3 sets alone. 18 kills in 3 sets. What was it that ignited about this team? You obviously were the big factor, but what ignited as we have bodies falling behind us in those final 3 sets?
We started off pretty slow. We just wanted we don't want to get knocked out in the first round, and we knew that they were a well-coached team. Made us pretty uncomfortable, but once we got in our rhythm, started playing our game, not too much playing fast like them, but being more physical, getting into our groove. So.
Did you also feel the energy levels start to change as the match went along? Tyrants came out strong, but you were able to find that rhythm you were just talking about as the match went along.
Yeah, definitely. We knew that they're not going to give up any free balls or they're going to get their runs, and even if we were up by 7 points, they come right back, make it real close, like 2-point lead, 2-point game. They're not going to give up that easily.
You had some contributions from other guys. Matt Hilling came out. He had 12 kills in the first 2 sets. You want to talk a little bit about your teammate and what he gave you off the bench?
Yeah, Matt's an amazing volleyball player, very high IQ, very disciplined, very knowledgeable, just always ready to go. You can always count on him to have a good game.
What could you say about the resiliency of this Stunner squad to be able to come back against a Tyrant squad that may have been playing the best volleyball of anybody in the league in the final 2 events?
Yeah, we're just hungry. We want to make it deep in the playoffs. Hopefully get to Sunday, but we got a game tomorrow that we got to worry about. Whoever's at Southern Exposure, we got to focus on them next.
It's like you're reading my mind because that is the last question. Hungary will take you into the semifinals, and it will be Southern Exposure tomorrow. How do you think your team stacks up against a Southern Exposure squad that's also playing pretty well in the second half of the season?
Yeah, I don't know too much about them. I didn't get a chance to watch them a lot, but I know they're a scrappy team. We're a little bit more physical, I think, overall. So if we play our game and not worry too much about their side, I think we'll be okay.
Lastly, 25 kills. How good does that feel for you right now?
Feels pretty good, but I need to get going earlier. I think I got to get that a little more disciplined swinging, making less errors. So
that's the analysis of a man who's hungry. We'll see what he and his OC squad does tomorrow when they're back here in the NVA Cup semifinals. Back to you guys.
Great insight, and there it is. The man that won a set by himself, 25 kills. Great win for the OC Stunners. That delivered. That went the distance, I think to the surprise of no one. And once again, I made a note earlier, we're going to have next the Utah Stingers and Team Freedom. So that's going to be live in about 40 minutes here. Once again, same place, NVA on YouTube, NVAUSA.com, NVA on Instagram. Make sure to hit like, follow, enjoy everything we got coming your way. Lots of fun stuff, fun content. And the next match, you're going to have Ira Thor live on the mic, joined by myself doing a little color commentary. And Matt's going to be dropping a lot of knowledge on the sideline. That's going to do it from us. I'm Nick England. This is Matt Prosser, Ira Thor on the sideline mic. We'll see you back here shortly.